Before humans ever walked the earth, there was another civilization. A creation made from smokeless fire, fierce in passion, vast in number, and proud of their strength. They are the Jinn. They ruled the earth long before Adam, peace be upon him. They lived in tribes, built homes, fought wars, and even had prophets sent to them. But something happened, something so terrible that Allah cursed them and cast them out of the visible world. Since then, they roam unseen, exiled to shadows. This is the story of why. The Quran tells us that the Jinn were created before mankind. And we created the Jinn before from scorching fire, according to early Islamic reports. They inhabited the earth for thousands of years. They lived just as humans would later do, with kings, families, laws, and rebellions. Among them were righteous believers, and also tyrants, those who spilled blood and spread corruption. When their oppression filled the earth, Allah sent angels to punish them. It is said that a mighty host descended, driving the rebellious Jinn into the farthest parts of the earth, into the deserts, mountains, and deep oceans. The rest were confined to the unseen realm, hidden from the eyes of men. That was the first exile. From among those Jinn was one who rose above them all. Iblis, he was intelligent, pious, and devoted in worship. He rose through the ranks until he was allowed to live among the angels. But inside him burned a spark of arrogance, a pride that would later destroy him and every Jinn who followed his path when Allah created Adam and commanded the angels to bow. Iblis refused. He said, "I am better than him. You created me from fire, and you created him from clay." That single act of arrogance became the greatest curse in history. Allah cast Iblis out of the heavenly company, declaring, "Get out of it, for indeed you are accursed, and indeed upon you is my curse until the day of judgment." But the punishment did not stop with Iblis alone. Iblis swore revenge. He said, "I will surely mislead them all, except your chosen servants among them." And from that vow began the exile of the Jinn, a punishment that turned into their nature. They were stripped of their ability to dwell freely among mankind. The barrier between the seen and unseen world was drawn. The Quran tells us, "And indeed we have created above you 7 paths, and we are not unaware of the creation, and we protected the heaven from every rebellious devil." The rebellious Jinn tried to climb back into the heavens, to eavesdrop, to steal secrets, but were driven away by flaming meteors. The sky became forbidden, the earth became divided, and the Jinn were left to dwell in ruins, valleys, and desolate places, hidden, unseen, cursed to whisper from shadows. The scholars said this concealment itself is part of their punishment. They once walked proudly in the open. Now they can only exist where man has turned away, in places of impurity, in abandoned ruins, in darkness. They live parallel to us, yet cut off from us. Their exile is eternal until the end of time. But why did Allah make them invisible to us? Was it only punishment or mercy as well? Because if they had remained visible, the test of mankind might have been unbearable. The Jinn once walked upon the earth freely. They built cities, lived in daylight, and interacted with creation just as we do. But after their corruption, Allah decreed that their world would be sealed, hidden from the sight of men. It was not only punishment, it was mercy. The Quran tells us that the barrier between humans and Jinn is absolute. Indeed, he and his tribe see you from where you cannot see them. This verse is powerful. It tells us that the Jinn, particularly Iblis and his followers, are fully aware of our presence. They observe us, but we cannot observe them. That invisibility is not simply a supernatural power. It is a divine command, a hijab, a veil placed between two realms. If humans could see the Jinn world, we would lose our sanity. Imagine walking through your home and seeing them dwelling between the walls. Imagine watching them flow through the air or standing behind you as you pray. The unseen world is not meant to be endured by human eyes. So Allah, in His mercy, concealed it. Allah created both humans and Jinn with free will, capable of faith or disbelief. But He did not make their trials identical. The jinn can see us. They whisper to us. They test us, but we cannot see them. So our test is faith without sight. This is what makes belief in the unseen so essential in Islam. It is the first description of the true believers in the Quran. Those who believe in the unseen establish prayer and spend from what we have provided them. Belief in Allah, in the angels, in the jinn, in the day of judgment, all of these belong to the world we cannot see. So by hiding the jinn, Allah preserved the balance of the divine test. We walk by faith, not by sight. Sometimes the barrier between worlds weakens, not physically, but spiritually. This can happen in moments of heedlessness, impurity, or sin. That is why the Prophet, peace be upon him, taught us specific supplications when entering the toilet. When undressing, when traveling alone at night, he said, "The screen between the eyes of the jinn and the nakedness of the children of Adam is the saying of Bismillah." Even a simple Bismillah becomes a divine protection, a reminder that you are seen by what you cannot see when the jinn overstep that boundary. By haunting, whispering, or possessing, it is because a spiritual door was opened to them, either by neglect, fear, sin, or arrogance. The Prophet, peace be upon him, described them as beings who flow through the son of Adam like blood. They are subtle, fast, unseen, and yet completely real. But despite their access, they have no power except by Allah's permission. The jinn were not hidden because Allah wished to erase them. They were hidden to protect us and to remind them of their fall. Every moment they remain unseen is a mark of their exile, a reminder of what they lost. Visibility, dominion, and honor, they are cursed to dwell in shadow while humans, the new creation, walk in the open light. It is divine irony. The jinn, once proud of their fire, now burn in darkness. The humans, made from dust, are lifted in dignity by faith. But one question remains. If the jinn were cursed to hide, will that veil ever be lifted again? Will a time come when humans see them as they truly are? There will come a day when the hidden will no longer remain hidden, when the unseen becomes seen and every secret world collides. That day is the day of resurrection. The Quran describes it with terrifying precision. So their sight will be sharp that day. Every veil will be torn. Every world that was once separated, the realm of humans, jinn, angels, and the dead, will stand together before Allah. The jinn who once roamed unseen will finally be exposed. Their whispers, their tricks, their arrogance, all revealed under the blinding light of divine justice. The Quran says, "O company of jinn and mankind, did there not come to you messengers from among you, reciting to you my verses and warning you of the meeting of this day of yours? They will say, we bear witness against ourselves." Imagine the horror of that scene. The jinn, invisible to us for millennia, standing shoulder to shoulder with humankind. Their secrets laid bare. For the first time, humans will see what was always around them. Beings of fire, beauty, and terror, trembling before the throne of Allah. The arrogant among them, the ones who whispered to men, will plead for mercy, and those who led humans astray will face their followers' rage. The Quran says they will blame one another. Each time a nation enters hell, it will curse its sister nation, until all have joined one another therein. The devils who whispered will cry, "We only invited you. You answered us willingly." But no excuses will remain, because when the veil is gone, the truth is undeniable. For us, the unseen has always been a matter of faith. We believed in jinn without seeing them. We believed in angels without proof. We believed in the hereafter, though it was veiled from our senses. But on that day, all of it will unfold before our eyes. The angels descending in ranks, the jinn exposed in their forms, the heavens splitting apart. That is why the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "The world is the prison of the believer and the paradise of the disbeliever." Because in this world, faith is tested through the unseen, but in the next, the unseen becomes truth, and the test ends. The veil that protects us now will no longer exist. The Jinn will walk among us, not as whispers in the dark, but as judged souls in the same arena of accountability. So why did Allah curse them to hide? Because being hidden was not only a punishment, it was a mirror for humanity. The Jinn were exiled into invisibility for their arrogance, but the believer walks unseen in another way. Unseen by the world, but seen by Allah. While the Jinn hide from creation, the righteous hide their deeds from people doing good in secret. One hides from mercy, the other hides in humility. That is the difference between curse and blessing. So the next time you feel alone at night, remember, there are unseen beings around you. Yes, but more importantly, there is an unseen watcher above you, closer than your jugular vein. He sees what you cannot see. He protects you from what you cannot imagine, and commands a world that your eyes are not built to witness. When you say Bismillah, the unseen obeys. When you pray, the veil of light surrounds you, and when you die, that veil of light surrounds you, and when you die, that veil finally lifts, revealing a reality that was always there. The Jinn were cursed to hide, but their invisibility is not power. It is punishment, and our faith in the unseen is not weakness. It is belief, because the greatest strength a believer can have is to trust what he cannot see